Steve treasured his family, and his heart belonged to them. But his kindness extended far beyond those relationships with family and close friends. Or you could say that he considered most everyone he met his friend. His colleagues at Children's adored him. The various nurses who attended him over the past 20-plus months received royal treatment from him. One commented that if Steve were a perfume, she'd bottle him up and keep him for herself. Tyra shared that sometimes she thought Steve might be too kind to be in the business world. His job was to analyze data, but he always made his decisions based on people. What is good? And what does the Lord require of us? Be kind, says Micah. A little over a month ago, Steve and I talked about his hopes for this day, this hour. He wanted us to laugh and to sing. He wanted us to experience together the goodness of God. In that conversation, he reflected on the Damm spot and how it had changed him. He said, there's no cause, no answer to the question why. But he went on, I'm not going to say that the Damm spot is the best thing that ever happened to me, but it has made me more spiritual, more aware of God's presence in my life. I was going 100 miles per hour before, and this has been like a big yield sign. He said, I now have absolute clarity about what is most important in my life, my family, and my faith. At one point in our conversation, in light of what he was experiencing, I asked him, how is it with your soul, Steve? I wouldn't have been shocked if he said he was a little bitter or angry toward God. But instead, he quoted one of today's hymns. First, he said, it is well with my soul. But then, after a few seconds of reflection, he amended that first response in typical Steve fashion. And he said, it is weller with my soul. Steve was on a journey with God, always being renewed in God's image and transformed by God's grace. What is good and what does the Lord require of us? Walk, or sometimes in Steve's case, run humbly with your God. I have no doubt, as I stand before you today, that it was weller with Steve's soul. He fought the good fight. He finished the race. He kept the faith. He was ready. And as Cooper so aptly put it, it's okay, because Daddy believed in God and Jesus, so he is in heaven. There will be many days ahead in which it will not feel like it is okay. We miss him. We always will. But Steve has given something to us that will always be with us. In Steve's amazing life, we were given glimpses of God's goodness, glimpses of the kingdom, glimpses of the glory of the life that is to come, an everlasting life that Steve is enjoying now, a life free of oxygen masks and IVs, a life in which he is able to laugh and sing and run again, a life where there are no more tears, no more pain. We have seen these beautiful glimpses in his tireless commitment to justice, his work on behalf of children, his boundless kindness, and his humble companionship with God. We have seen glimpses of the glory of the life to come in the community of love and generosity that has been formed around this precious family over the past 2 years. Steve's inspiring life and this journey of caregiving that so many have shared can fill us with hope that there is more than this, more than what can be seen, but that there is indeed a life to come in which God's goodness ultimately reigns. And the love and joy and peace and harmony that we have celebrated today is not the exception, not a fleeting experience, but is the rule. Steve has truly raised the bar for all of us. God was at work in a glorious way in his life, and we will honor his life as we take cues from him, allowing God's grace to work in and through us to renew our souls and to bring hope and justice and love to a hurting world. Let us pray together.